I wouldn't be able to look at myself or forgive myself.
A blind person can see these are not fall down bruises. These fit fingerprint patterns.
It's the number one molesters of children are the new boyfriend or husband.
The likelihood of a child being killed by a non-biological male is 100 times normal. Jason says his 8-year custody battle nearly killed him, but that he would do anything for his daughter.
Family court was the toughest fight of my life. My daughter's mother and I, we split. So I retained an attorney and filed for custody. My concerns about my daughter being in my ex's custody were, first and foremost, safety. There was a history of prescription, pill use, and other recreational drugs.
You like it?
I wasn't happy with the outcome of the custody. I was treated like a deadbeat dad. I expressed my concerns and they were dismissed. The first time I noticed something that seemed weird was September of 16. On her leg, she had bruising, which was identical to someone grabbing. From there on out, it was getting more regularly, like every couple weeks. It wasn't until her hand was slammed on a door that action really seemed to take place. All 5 digits were lacerated, fractured knuckle, 2 jammed fingers. My attorney filed a motion. A friend of the court ruled that I would be primary. I had people saying to me, like, you can't keep spending this money. Do you think I give a about $7,500 if my daughter dies? I can go make more money. And I'm not rich by any means, but I don't know if I wouldn't be able to look at myself or forgive myself.
Jason, what do you think the courts could have done differently with your case?
I think the courts could have paid attention to the evidence, held true to their word. At the initial conciliation when I filed custody, it's not very evidentiary. So it was he said, she said. And I was treated like a deadbeat dad, which was shocking because that wasn't how I saw myself. But that was how the conciliator saw it.
You actually came to get help from Judge Aquilina, right?
I've known Judge Aquilina now for almost 20 years. And when I'd be at the courthouse, I'd see if she was in her chambers, we'd have coffee, and I'd end up just crying on her shoulder, basically. And she always lent a gentle ear, was very diplomatic, and just kept telling me to stay in the fight.
Mm-hmm. And what was the toughest thing that you saw him having to face and deal with, Judge?
There were orders, things that he didn't want to do. And I said, Jason, no matter what the court orders, the court doesn't always get it right. You have to follow the orders, and the court will eventually see that you are the fit parent and the custodial parent, but it's going to take some time. And he sobbed at that because he was not happy with some of the decisions. But he, to the letter, followed the orders of the court and eventually got his daughter.
And that's hard when you're in a situation where you have physical, photographic evidence.
Yes.
That it's like you say, a blind person can see these are not fall down bruises. These fit fingerprint patterns. You can see exactly how this happens.
Yep.
And Dr. Sophie, how many times have you looked at this kind of thing?
1 million times. Tells the story right there. It's the whole story.
And when somebody ignores that,
that's the problem.
You know, and thank heavens Jason had the advice that you
Right.
gave him. Most people don't get that advice. And they are so desperate. You know, I was in the criminal justice system for 20 years. Crazy things happened to me. I had one person I prosecuted threatened to kill me and my son and found my son's middle school to kill him. I had someone, as I was giving a closing argument, attack me in the courtroom in front of the jury with a shiv he had made and hidden up a body cavity. Crazy things happen in the criminal courthouse, but I always maintained that crazier things happen in the family courts. because things happen that seem so unfair and so unjust, and you have these parents who become so desperate and emotional and volatile, and it becomes very unstable. And so that's why there needs to be a spotlight on this, right? It becomes
Family
very
court
volatile.
is the most, as you've just outlined, the most dangerous court we have.
It is.
You can divide a bank account, but you can't divide a child.
Right.
What did you say to yourself along the way, and how did you keep control?
I think I realized, one, I don't have a lot of control over anything. I had to follow the order. I would pray for my ex, that she would be a fit mother. It wasn't about me. It was about my daughter having a fit and healthy mom. I kept trying to do the next right thing, and it was hard. And every time I dropped her off, I would just pray that she'd come back safely.
You were concerned not just by what your ex was doing and what you were seeing evidence of, but that she was being exposed to some dangerous situations.
Yes. My daughter's mother got married after we were not together anymore. And I would do a background check because the number one molesters of children are the new boyfriend or husband of the mom. So I was mindful of that.
Well, you bring up that there's risk there with these men, and the statistics tell us that the likelihood of sexual molestation or abuse with a non-biological male in the home is 33 times normal.
Yep.
And the likelihood of a child being killed by a non-biological male is 100 times normal. Non-biological married parents is 9x, bio parents unmarried 5x, single parent cohabiting 20x. There's nothing safer for a child than biological parents living together. Now, your concerns were not unfounded because your ex was ultimately murdered.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
There was a final text message from your ex to you, which reads, "Please tell my daughter I love her."
Mm-hmm. So it was over a year that my daughter hadn't seen her mom before her life was taken. And, delivering her that news was, that was tough.
Yeah, that's not an easy thing for a child to hear, for you or for you to deliver, either one.
Uh-huh.
You were concerned about choices that your daughter's mother was making.
Yes.
And sure enough, she wound up tragically being murdered. And if you could share what your daughter said when you told her.
So we were at state of the school that night. I got the message right before we walked into the school that they found my daughter's mother. And I kind of white knuckled through the evening, and we were walking in the car, and my daughter could tell I was upset. And I said, yeah, they found your mom, and she's not with us anymore. And she ugly cried, looked at me and said, I don't want my mom to be dead. And so we went to this spot down by the river on Michigan State's campus, sat on a bench, and I told her my best memories of her mom, because sorry, that's I knew what was coming next, and my daughter was angry with her mother, and we've had to deal with that, so working through some coping skills to forgive herself, that writing letters to her mom, and some other things that to heal that.
And how's your daughter doing now?
She's awesome. She's the best.
I think your daughter won the dad lottery.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A final thought is, this is not a popularity contest, whether you're parenting a child together or whether you're breaking up a marriage. You can't divorce your children. You may divorce their other parent, but you will forever be their parents. And you may think, well, I'm going to get them to like me best now. But I promise you, if you alienate them from the other parent, the day will come they'll look at you and say, why did you put distance between me and my mother or father? Why did you do that? You didn't need to blow out her candle to make yours burn brighter. You didn't need to blow out his candle to make yours burn brighter. And they will resent you for it. And it's interesting, we have two parents here whose exes are both deceased. There are bells that you can't unring. You can't go back and fix those things now. Next time you think, well, I'll take you to court, by God. You may wish you hadn't.
Thank you for having this important conversation. It's all information that people need to know and nobody wants to talk about.
And thank both of y'all for coming here and sharing it. RJ, thanks for speaking up. I want to thank Judge Rosemary Aquilina, Dr. Charles Stoffe, Lonnie Coombs, all of my guests today. And thank you at home for watching, because here at Dr. Phil Primetime and at Merritt Street Media, we're going to continue to focus on the issues that we're all facing in our society. And boy, do we have issues.